Hey, you're watching Al from Al's Geek Lab. I hope you are well. Today I wanted to let you know about something which I saw in my email just yesterday. It was this email here. On it, it was from OpenAI, and they said, hey, look, there's this new model that's come out, ChatGPT, or GPT, 4.1. And there's also the O3, O4 mini. I was like, yeah, so what? It's another iteration of things getting better, right? But then I looked at the bottom of the email and there's this thing called Codex CLI. And so I wondered what that was all about. And when I looked into it a bit more, it's basically an open source local coding agent that turns natural language into working code. So I went on and I watched the video. And what I found quite interesting is when the developers got to about here. So basically, they decided that they would go and run the photo booth app. Do you remember the photo booth app? I probably haven't. Yeah, they still have it in OS, the latest version of OS 10. But basically, yeah, you can get yourself on the camera and you can do some things on it, and you can, put some effects on like this. You go, okay. So basically, this developer here took a screenshot of that app. Anyway, he takes that screenshot off the photo booth app and then basically tells this Codex application to re-implement that in an HTML page using whatever language I guess it decides is a good idea. So fast forwarding that, just to show you what it does. Basically, it has a little think about it. It does it in JavaScript by the looks of things, and then out pops this. It's the photo booth app, rewritten completely for the web browser using the camera API. So I thought, well, that's pretty cool. I wonder if I could do a few examples. So for you today, I wanted to write a little game. I said, make a simple game for a 7-year-old girl. The player character will be a small blonde-haired girl, blah, blah, blah. Go and pick up some Squishmallow teddies. And so if I refresh this, guess what it did? It wrote me this little math game that you can pick up teddies, right? And I'm like, oh, well, this is cool. It wrote this, within seconds. And I was like blown away. And obviously, the thing is that you could get it to do anything like that. So how do you get it? It's pretty easy. You go over to the GitHub page. So that's github.com/OpenAI/Codex. And then basically to get it, all you have to do is have a machine which has got Node on it with NPM. If you don't, it's pretty straightforward to get on a Mac or Linux machine, obviously. You just homebrew, install NPM there. And then once you've got NPM installed on your machine, it's just a case of installing the Codex package, which is npm install-g OpenAI/Codex. On my Linux box, a Debian box, I needed to sudo in front of that because it needed sort of global permissions, root permissions to install it in a complete global area. You also have to have an OpenAI API key. So if you don't have an OpenAI API subscription, then you won't be able to use this. It's like $20 a month. So yeah, just sign up and get your developer subscription, and then you can put this in. So when you're in your terminal, basically, just type in export OpenAI API key, and then put your API key value in there. I think it starts SK dash and then whatever the rest is. Obviously, I'm not going to show you my one for obvious reasons. And if you want it to start up every single time with your terminal, then obviously you need to put it in your zsh RC file or your bash RC if you're using bash. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can then run Codex just as simply as that. So yeah, you've seen that I got it to do this. It took 33 seconds in the first iteration to come up and make that Teddy game, and within 84 seconds, I think in total it created the index HTML in one of the directories in my machine, and then you saw the result. And I said, well, actually, I like that, but I would also like it to look a bit better. I'd like the teddies to be a bit nicer and the character to be a bit nicer as well. So I thought about that and then acted that out. You can see all the iterations that it goes through. Now, there are a few modes that you can use Codex with. So for example, if I go into the command terminal here and I can just type in /help, and it will show you the different models that you can use. So for example, if I type in model, you can choose, it's unable to switch model right now, I don't know why. Oh yes, because I'm halfway through the code. But if I run another iteration, it will come back to me and allow me to switch through all the different ones. So I can do that by showing you this Codex. Yeah. Okay, so now it's working in my current directory, and you can see the model there. It's defaulted to 04 mini, but if I type in /model, I can choose from all of the different models that is available through my API subscription. So the new models through the GPT 4.1 models, and some of the older models as well. And yeah, 01, they're all there. 4.5 preview is there as well. So yeah, you can go to town on choosing the model that you want. And then secondly, the other thing that I'll make you aware of is this approval thing. So if I type in /approval, this is where it gets a little bit scary. And before I go on to approval, I will say that, and this is only apparently this works in a sandbox. So it doesn't go in and make changes to your system, and it doesn't allow the information to go back out onto the internet. But this is my first go at this. I just downloaded this last night. I've just really played with this today. So I have no idea about how secure or insecure this application is. It is in like research preview mode, as it says up here, version 0.1. So this is really, really new. I would say as well that Codex itself came out as a product back in 2021, but this is the first shell-based or CLI-based one, and that, as it says here, came out in 2025, April 16th. So this is brand new as of the time of this video. So yeah, beware, I guess. Like, don't just start running this as root or running this across other areas of your system, because that would be a bad thing. But anyway, the three approval modes that you can choose from, one is suggest, which is pretty much the one that I've got it running on. One is auto edit, and one is full auto. So basically suggest, you'll say, hey, make me a game like the one that I showed you just a minute ago. It writes the code out for me. That's another window. Come back to that in a second, but basically it writes the game for me, and but it suggests, look, hey, this is the code that I'm going to write. Are you okay with me writing it? And then you press yes, and then it will write the code. But it won't overwrite anything until you say that you're okay with it. So suggest is that. You can also use it to just say, what would I do, rather than saying, write me the code. Actually change the file. You can just say, what is your suggestion? So say you've got a buggy piece of code and you want to debug it, and you've been racking your head for a while about how to fix the code. You could just say, look at my code and tell me what the bugs are, and then it'll come back and tell you what they are. It won't actually change the code. But I think the main power of Codex is the fact that it will look at the code, update the code for you. So in the past, we've been used to going into, say, ChatGPT app and opening it up and copying and pasting your code in, or allowing it to work with your terminal or something like that. And it would look at the code and go, oh, I think there's an error here, and blah, blah, blah. And it's all very finicky, because you'd have to copy and paste that out of ChatGPT and back in. What is different about this is this will allow automatic changes inside your code. You don't have to do anything other than say, yes, I want that code changed. The auto edit and full auto basically is potentially dangerous because it will literally go ahead and do everything for you. You don't have to press yes, that's okay, and you don't have to understand what it's doing at all. So this really changes the landscape, I guess, of developing code. It's going to be a major change. Obviously, we have editors such as Cursor, VS Code, and Z as well. I like Z. I've been using Z for a while. And they have, if you've used these editors before, they have the chat window in the right-hand side, so you can type in, hey, help me with this code, but they're not as fully interactive or fully auto code editing for you as this Codex system, or at least I don't believe they are. So this is pretty much a game changer in terms of it will fully review your code and understand it. Now I think it's supposed to work better with certain languages, Python being the main one, but it does say that it's proficient in over a dozen languages, including JavaScript, Go, Perl, PHP, Ruby, Swift, and TypeScript, and even shellcode. So yeah, it's pretty amazing, the capabilities of it. So I'll just show you, here's an app that I was working on. Basically, I found that I was writing this myself. I wasn't using AI at all for it. And this is a particular part of the code that allows you to add software to an asset database, right? So basically, what I had it do is find the particular problem. I had a suspicion that I had not enough question marks in my insert statement, and it has found exactly what I suspected, but it was taking me, because it was quite a large bit of code, it was taking me a while to hunt that down, and I thought I'll give this a shot and see how it went. Now, all in all, you can see it's been back and forth quite a lot to do this. So I think I started this line of questioning about fixing this particular thing. It's probably taken it around 5 minutes to work through this particular problem and find the problem and then fix it. So is it fast? No, not always. It can be quite slow. It really depends on what language it's using and how it's reasoning and what model it's using. So if you're finding it slow with one particular model, you could quit out of the application, relaunch it with another model and see how you fare there. But basically, this is how it works, right? So it's found a particular line of text, and it thinks like this is, it's going to use sed. So it's using standard Unix tools here to take out. So it's using sed here to go, right, I found this line with 3 question marks, but I actually want to replace it with 4 question marks. And I'm going to allow this. So I say yes, and off it goes. That's the way that it works. It's pretty straightforward. Now it's going to think about that. As I said, it's taken a while. And it's found another line. And I need to fix that one as well. So off it goes, and it'll fix up that. And then hopefully, once it's finished doing all this, it will then go off and fix this problem here, this fatal error, where I have obviously missed out a question mark. So it's having a good old look, and it will go back and verify that it has made the appropriate change afterwards. But you see here, like, it's taking 1,781 seconds. I don't know if that's including the time which I've been on pause here personally, but I think it's just the time that it's taken in compute. So yeah, quite a bit of time to do these things, quite expensive in terms of compute, but also pretty valuable if you're not fully au fait with coding. If you're not a strong coder, it can be really helpful. And of course, that little game where I showed you earlier on, that sort of stuff is really cool because, you know, you may not be a coder at all, but you just need a piece of software very quickly to fix a particular problem or to do a minimum viable product. So the days of, you know, having to have a programmer go and write some code for you to do a certain thing or make a mini app or just anything like that, they're coming to an end. And this whole vibe coding thing, which is scary and also horrible at the same time, we can't now ignore it, because things like Codex and the other new GUIs that are coming out with similar capability are really changing the game. I mean, this is rewriting code for me on the fly, and I don't really need to think about it. All I need to do is say, hey, have a look at my buggy code and tell me what the bugs are. So yeah, this is the beginning of something which is only going to get iteratively better. So yeah, let me know what you think. Download Codex, let me know what you think, and try it yourself, and let me know in the comments how you've progressed with it. What language do you use? What model do you use? What's your performance like on that particular model? All these things. This is literally just me trying it out for the first time and finding it incredibly helpful as being a sort of buddy, a partner to me writing code. So hopefully it doesn't make me too lazy of a programmer, but there you go. This is Al's Geek Lab. I hope you've enjoyed this quick video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.